You may have seen the topic of antibiotic resistance in the news. The discovery of antibiotics had a massive impact on medicine and healthcare. Antibiotics are drugs that kill bacteria, and bacteria can make us ill. However, over time, scientists have seen that antibiotics are becoming less effective. There are some strains of bacteria that we struggle to kill with antibiotics. We say that these bacteria have become resistant to antibiotics. I've made a video that teaches you more about antibiotics and how they work, so I'll link that below if you've not seen it yet. We call strains of bacteria that are resistant to many types of antibiotics superbugs. For example, you may have heard of MRSA bacteria or the bacterial species C. difficile. If you're infected with these two types of bacteria, it's much harder to treat you. In this video, we'll be focusing on how antibiotic-resistant bacteria develop and what we can do to try and reduce the spread. If you watch till the end of the video, I'll also show you how to answer this exam question, and I'll give you some key sentences throughout the video. Let's get started. If you're new here, welcome to BioSmash. I'm Jo. I'm a science teacher and a clinical scientist. Bacterial cells can quickly reproduce by one cell dividing to make two cells. If there are a couple of bacterial cells in your body, very quickly there will be 4 bacterial cells. And then 8. Each of these will divide into 2 to give 16 cells, and these will divide to give 32 cells. As the number of harmful bacteria increases, you will start to develop symptoms. Imagine that your doctor prescribes you antibiotics to treat the infection. When you take the antibiotic, it will move through your body, and provided that it's effective, it will start to kill the bacteria. The number of harmful bacteria in your body will start to decrease. At the same time, your body will be working hard to get rid of the bacteria. Your body contains white blood cells that can trap the bacteria and kill them. So some bacteria are killed by the antibiotic, whilst others are killed by the white blood cells, and the overall number of bacteria continues to decrease until they are all killed. I will make a video that explains how white blood cells work in much more detail and link it below when it's ready. As I mentioned earlier, some bacteria are resistant to particular antibiotics. This means that if your body is infected by this type of bacteria and you are prescribed antibiotics, even if you follow the instructions and take all of the antibiotics correctly, the bacteria are not killed by the antibiotic. This means that you won't start to feel better. Bacteria become resistant to antibiotics because of a special chemical inside them called DNA. You've probably heard of DNA. It looks like this. DNA is the body's instruction book. It contains lots of different recipes, and each recipe is an instruction for making a particular chemical that the living thing needs to stay alive. The recipes stored in our DNA are called genes. So bacteria have genes too. When bacteria divide to make 2 bacteria, they need to copy the DNA so that there's a set for each bacterium. But just like you, when you're copying out information, when DNA is copied, mistakes can happen, and these mistakes are called mutations. The first key sentence you need to remember to use in exams is that random mutations occur when bacteria reproduce. You might want to write that down. These mutations change the gene recipe. In some case, the mutation or change to the gene may make little difference to the bacteria. Some mutations are harmful to the bacteria and it may even kill them. But by chance, some mutations will actually help the bacteria and make them resistant to a particular type of antibiotic. This means that even if the bacterium is in the presence of that antibiotic, it won't be killed. So here's our second key sentence that you might want to write down to use in exams. Some mutations give resistance to antibiotics. Check out this video linked below if you want to learn more about DNA and genes. So, if you're infected by a bacterium, that bacterium will quickly reproduce and each time it will copy its DNA. Sometimes the DNA copying process goes wrong and a bacterium is produced with a mutation that makes it resistant to antibiotics. When this bacterium reproduces, its offspring will also have antibiotic resistance, and the gene for antibiotic resistance will be passed on to their offspring and their offspring too. So you can see we've now got a population that has variation. Some of the bacteria are resistant and some of them are not. When the level of bacteria gets high enough in your body, you will start to feel ill. You might be prescribed an antibiotic. The antibiotic will spread through the body, but it will only be a problem for the non-resistant bacteria. The resistant bacteria won't be affected. This means that antibiotics are creating a selective pressure on the bacteria. You might want to write that sentence down too. Over time, the non-resistant bacteria are killed by the antibiotic and their number decreases. So the next key sentence to write down is that non-resistant bacteria will die, but the resistant bacteria will survive. White blood cells in your body will also be finding the bacteria and killing them. They will kill both types of bacteria. So if you keep taking the antibiotic long enough, the antibiotic will kill the non-resistant bacteria and any resistant bacteria will be gradually killed by the white blood cells. So the overall number of bacteria in your body will fall, and eventually, if you take the antibiotics for the whole course, both types of bacteria will be killed and you will start to feel better. Give this video a thumbs up if you're starting to understand this topic better. So in this example, we took the antibiotics for the whole week. This means we took the full course of the antibiotics and we got better. However, when some people take antibiotics, they start to feel better and decide to stop taking the antibiotics on that day. However, if they do this, there are still bacteria in their body, and you'll see that the resistant bacteria are increasing in number. The resistant bacteria are not being killed by the antibiotic, so they can reproduce very rapidly. And the gene for antibiotic resistance is being passed on to all of the offspring bacteria. So you can see that the population of bacteria within the body has now changed, and the majority of bacteria are resistant to the antibiotic. So over time, the population of bacteria has become resistant to the antibiotic. And you can see that the number of bacteria in the body is very high again. And this will cause us to develop symptoms again. If we start to feel ill, we might be prescribed the same antibiotic again. The antibiotic will kill any non-resistant bacteria. So even though we're taking the antibiotic, resistant bacteria will continue to reproduce to high levels. So we continue to feel ill despite taking antibiotics. Hopefully, you can now use all of your key sentences to describe how antibiotic resistance develops in a population of bacteria. Why not pause the video and have a go at answering the question? I'm about to show you the answer, so pause the video now if you want more time. I really hope you're finding this video helpful. If you are, then please do click subscribe. It will help you to find my other videos. Okay, now that you've had a go at answering the question, let's look at how you can use the key sentences I gave you to write an answer. We would start by writing that random mutations occur when the bacteria reproduce. Some of these random mutations happen to give resistance to antibiotics and make the bacterium resistant. Now, when the antibiotics are taken, this creates a selective pressure because it will kill some of the bacteria, the ones that are not resistant, but it won't kill the ones that are resistant. So the important point to note next is that the non-resistant bacteria die, but the resistant bacteria survive. And because the resistant bacteria survive, they can go on to reproduce rapidly. And every time they reproduce, their offspring, so the bacteria they produce, inherits the resistance gene and is also resistant to the antibiotic. So we can finish off by writing that over time there are more bacteria with the resistance gene, and this means that the population of bacteria becomes resistant. If you really want to impress your examiner, you could also write that this is an example of natural selection, and I'll make a video about natural selection in much more detail. How did you do? Give yourself a mark out of 6. You score 1 point or 1 mark for each of these sentences that you included in your answer. Let's look at part B of the question. Have you got any ideas? State 2 ways we can reduce antibiotic resistance. If you need a clue, you might want to think about this diagram and this diagram. Have a go at writing some answers, so you need 2 different points. I'm about to show you the answer, so pause the video now if you want more time. So you get 1 mark if you wrote only use antibiotics when absolutely necessary, so only taking them if you're seriously ill, not just mildly ill. And the second rule is always complete the full course of antibiotics because that reduces the chances of antibiotic resistant populations occurring. Well done for making it to the end. If you want to carry on learning, check out one of these 3 videos next. One tells you how microbes cause disease, there's one to find the best antibiotic. Or if you'd like to know more about DNA and genes, try this video. I hope to see you again soon.